All right, I want to set the table with the expectations of the
Are you ready
Bills
to
here
do this
for a
now?
minute.
Have you built up you ready now?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I just want to just the like recent history of the Bills. Okay.
Okay.
They hadn't won the AFC East since 1995 before they finally did it with Josh Allen. Now with Josh Allen, they've won it 5 straight years. In the 2000s, before Josh got there, they had the drought. Mine and your good buddy Kyle Williams. They got to the playoffs, such an emotional moment for him, but they had been to the playoffs one time in the 2000s before Josh Allen. Now they've been there 6 years in a row. They've been in the divisional round 5 years in a row.
Yep.
So there's been this huge reset of expectations with the Buffalo Bills, and it all falls on Josh Allen, and it lines up with when he got there and how he's been able to turn around this franchise. It's been unbelievable. But here's the next part of it. They haven't played in a conference championship since 2020.
Yep.
If you remember in 2021, that was one of the most epic games ever. The Chiefs, 13 seconds, overtime thriller. Josh never sees the ball back. That was in Buffalo. 2022, also in Buffalo. They get beat up by the Bengals. And then last year in Arrowhead, the Chiefs take down the Bills 27-24. So that's where we find ourselves right now.
Yep.
They're home again against Baltimore in the divisional round. I want you to give me some good news right now, Whit, about what you see happening in this game.
I think that, to my point earlier about James Cook, I think that this is a part of, if I'm going to talk about Ravens Bills, what I think this may be, honestly, one of the top matchups until we get to the championship game for the entire weekend. To me, this is the game. I mean, this is the game everybody's been waiting on. It's the first thing Sean McDermott said when they said, hey, you know what? Everybody's been waiting for this one.
I like that.
That's the reality, right? That's the first thing he said. Josh Allen, hey, these guys thumped us earlier this year. So what I do love is it's been on their minds, and it's something they've been waiting for the opportunity to make right. I saw where we're going to have some possible single-digit weather in Buffalo this weekend.
It's going to be chilly. It's definitely going to be chilly.
You know, you were hoping for this situation. I mean, you know, this is where Buffalo's at their best. Get it cold, get it frigid in there. But I think when you talk about this game, it's really about, all right, let's just be honest. In both situations, even with the Ravens turnaround on defense, the two offenses are what everybody's going to say, hey, who's going to be able to stop who? I mean, both the offenses dominate. But I think James Cook, to me, to my point earlier, him being a part and something that's really like a focus of who they are and what they do, I think that gives them opportunities like what Derrick Henry brings to Lamar Jackson, in the sense of it's not always on your shoulders. Now, obviously, in their sense, Derrick Henry's a big part of it. But I think James Cook brings an element that really makes you think, wow, this Buffalo Bills team is different. But at the same time, we're talking about two teams that forget all the things we think about them offensively, Fitz. They both are living under that shadow of Joe Burrow's beat him. He's been able to take him down. Tom Brady's been able to take him down. But we have never been able to take Patrick Mahomes off the throne. And we are both sitting there saying this week, regardless of how this game goes, this is not just going to be about Mahomes. It's going to be about what we are never able to do, even though I'm Josh Allen and I'm Lamar Jackson, and I have all this regular season success, and I'm great in the wild card round. What happens after that? And they're both sitting there saying, I got to answer that question this week. And I think that's why it's going to make it be an absolute insane football game.
Yeah, I do too. All eyes are going to be on that one Sunday night. I think people point to the game they played earlier this year. The Ravens beat them up 35-10. I think that's why people say, gosh, this is a bad matchup for the Bills. You know, I think they've got to find a way to slow down this running game. And that's easier said than done. The differences from those two games, was chatting with Eric Wood a little bit, who used to play center for the Bills and does their radio broadcast now. First of all, who's going to be in the game on defense for the Bills? It's different. Matt Milano, he's starting to really look healthy and feel comfortable. He didn't play in that game. Terrell Bernard didn't play in that game. Taron Johnson didn't play in that game. So there are dudes that are back. So it's going to be a different looking defense for the Bills, but it is something they've struggled with all year long. The Bills defense is built to have a lead and then to sit back, eyes on the quarterback, and create turnovers. That's not going to be this type of game. This is going to come down to third and fourth down and how these quarterbacks perform on third and fourth down, because now we're going to get those opportunities. Gosh, should they kick the field goal or should they go for it on 4th and 2, 4th and 3, 4th and 4? And you saw Washington last night actually take advantage of that and go for it on some of those fourth downs. That's the type of game this is going to be. And they're going to have those situations. We call them 4-point plays when you're a player. Do we kick it or do we, go for 7, whatever? But they're now 7-point plays for us, because the fourth down is now the new thing. And people are going for it in those situations. And when it's fourth down and you put Josh Allen in shotgun, and when it's fourth down and you put Lamar in shotgun, they have the ability to read it and throw, yes, but they're always going to have that ability to tuck it and run. And that's what this game's going to come down to. And I can't wait. This is going to be the game of the year.
Yeah, it really is. It's really, I think that when you look at the advantages, you go, all right, Baltimore Ravens have been a great rush defense all season long. Even though we've talked about the flip in their secondary, what they have done well, they've been one of the best units in the league all year at stopping the run. Buffalo's really got to decide, is it going to be 6-0 linemen, or is it more about getting more threats on the field and being able to run the ball a little bit with Josh more? I mean, they may have to make that kind of commitment, because you're looking for the numbers game in this one. And that's just the truth, right? We're trying to figure out the math equation. But the other part of it for them is, let's think back to how that game ended up, right? Obviously, Baltimore handled them, but what a lot of that part was, Derrick Henry opens the game with an 87-yard touchdown run early in the game. So can you limit the explosives? That's where Baltimore gets used, because Derrick Henry can take it to the house at any point. And for the Buffalo, they've got to make this game a game where, as we've said before, Todd Monken starts calling more passes and thinking we got to play more drop back game. They've got to do that. Is that taking an early lead? Is that trying to erase some of those runs and saying, hey, if they hit us with play action early in this game, we'll take our medicine, but we are going to do whatever it takes to stop the run early? I just think that kind of chess match there of, I think Sean McDermott's going to have some kind of aggression defensively to say, we are not going to sit here and let them just march down the field, play after play after play.